What's going on, Nightfall? I had sent you that I sent you the the moderator, so you're a moderator over there. I know we had talked about it before, and I wasn't sure how to do it, but I went ahead and sent you that. DJ, if you can because I'm just checking to make sure everybody can hear me clear. I know they can hear me clear on YouTube. That's not the problem. It's X that I'm worried about. You can hear me okay on X? He's giving me the thumbs up, so I'm assuming that's a yes.
Newstoter.
Okay, good. I'm glad that everybody can hear me. What's going on tonight to everybody that's on YouTube, everybody that's on over here on X as well too. If you guys see the actual title, you see that we're going to be talking about discussing is there solidarity between Black American and Palestinians, and also we're going to be talking about the George Floyd heart testing that they're talking about doing as well too for Derek Chauvin, who's trying to go ahead and find a loophole and find a way up out of there as well too. I'm hoping that we're not having any technical issues over here on X, but everybody says for the most part they can hear us pretty decent or whatever. So I'm assuming that the audio in the spaces is good or whatnot. DJ, I'm gonna send you. I know you can just accept the co-host, but I'm not sure if you. I know you probably be leaving out the space in a second or whatever to do something. Melissa, I see you coming up here, so let me know, Melissa. Are you having any issues with the audio or anything? You good, Melissa? I know you had requests. I was trying to see if you were having any issues. I'm trying to see if any.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
You're having a hard time hearing me?
Yeah, that's why I came up.
Okay, because I'm hearing you guys loud and clear. This is what I may do real quick, guys, before we really get rolling. And my people on YouTube.
Hey, Twitter updated.
Yeah.
Yesterday it did, right?
It updated yesterday and today. I had two updates. I had one yesterday and I had one today as well too. So for everybody that can hear me good in the space, Andre, Martin, well, Mary came up. She said she could hear me fine. Andre, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Martin, give me a thumbs up. Guys, give me a hand up. Let me know. If not, then I can always start real quick before we get into it and start up another space real quick and get everything. Because I see people popping in and out, so I'm wondering if it may be if it may
start your phone when you did the update.
I always restart the phone when I do the updates. Yeah, like I said, you know how X is with this with the actual sound. I'm not sure if some of our people in the space may be having some issues with it or whatever. So let me
Well, I'll try to restart my phone and so see what happens.
Okay. What I can do real quick is since the space is just starting, guys, I can go ahead and just end this space and bring it right back. Give me 3 minutes and we'll go ahead and we'll start right back so we can go ahead and get this thing rolling. So I'm gonna end this one real quick, come right back, guys. So I'm gonna retweet the space out, come right back, and we're gonna start it up. So let me go ahead and end. Yeah.
Hey, clear the cash out, not the data, but clear the cash out, all right?
I did all that before I even started. Yeah.
Just do it again, bro. Just do it again, bro.
Yeah.
No problem.
We good. Okay. Twizzle, we finna start it right back up. So I'm gonna come and get you. But let me go ahead and start it back up because everybody's having issues. So I'm gonna start it back up and come back in a second. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna end this real quick. Because I couldn't even see the damn people. They said it was 30 people in there. I didn't even see that, to be honest. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me clear the cache on this thing real quick. I do apologize. We try to go ahead and live stream these spaces at the same time while we're doing the actual Twitter spaces as well too. So we can go ahead and hit on everything. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this thing rolling. Nightfall, I know you're gonna hold it down over there as well too with the people. So definitely know you'll go ahead and do. Shout out to my man Avenge the Ancestors. Shout out to Avenge the Ancestors as well too, guys. We're gonna get this thing rolling right back because everybody complain about these damn spaces and they ain't lying. Like, damn, I might just go back to doing how I was when I first started and just started recording the damn and just record them and then upload them that way. Hell. But these spaces, man, they are something else. Let me go ahead and start this thing up, guys. We're going to start it up right now. Okay, I'm sending out the notifications to everybody. Hopefully, everybody will be able to come in with no issue. Hopefully, we'll be able to get everybody in here with no issue. I don't know. Let me see. I got Twizzle coming up. Let me see if I can get Twizzle up here. Twizzle, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Man, I can hear you, but it just kept showing me up, spitting me out, man.
Yeah,
each time I come into the room, I'll be in there, and it'll say space in, and it'll just drop. But then I go up top, I still see you up in there. Then I come in, and it just spit me out. Like, you talk for 5 seconds, and it spit me out every time.
That's what I'm saying, because I had just started at 8 o'clock, and then I just saw people. When I see people popping in, popping out, popping in, popping out like that, so I ended the space, and it was something about that. We had like 30 speakers in there, but I didn't even see no 30 listeners in there. And I'm like, well, the space was that quick, I didn't even see it. So that's why I said, well, let me just go ahead. Sometimes we have these issues, and I say, well, let me just go ahead and restart the damn thing, and hopefully that'll make a difference. I see Twizzle popping up here, Andre, Mary. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me loud and clear. More than even just hear me, I'm hoping that your connection where you guys you're able to stay in here without any issues. Once I see people popping in and out like that, and I know sometimes there's something else going on. So hopefully, let's see how this thing plays out here.
One more thing, Newstoter. Everybody, do the update. You got to go to your app space.
Yeah, I hit mine.
Update. Yeah, you got to do that update, because until you do that update, the Twitter gonna be fucking up. I just did that. Now it's working a little better now. Twitter gonna be messing up, but it's a little better now.
Yeah, we had an update. I had an update today and yesterday, and I updated both days and stuff. Now, Andre said, I hear you better now. So, okay, hopefully, guys, that's what it is. Go ahead and retweet the space out. Let everybody know that we in it. We're going to be discussing the supposed solidarity between Black America and Palestinians. And we got to dig into this thing with the George Floyd situation. This is a scary thing that they're trying to do here. And they're trying to go ahead and just change history out. And I'm going to be honest with you. If somehow they're able to reverse this right here, who knows what may happen. And I'm not saying that as a scare tactic, anything else like that. But if Derek Chauvin was to go ahead and get out of prison because they done concocted this crazy story that, hey, you know what? It was his health and it was drugs and all this other stuff in him. And really, Derek Chauvin had his damn knee on this man's neck for damn near 10 minutes. And that's not the issue. Then, yeah, we're going to have a little issue right here. I don't know if they really want that, to be honest. I don't really think they want that. So let me go ahead and dig right into it, because I see our people come in. Shout out to my girl, Miss Tony. I see up in there. And I'm going to start off with this Derek Chauvin thing. Feel free to with I have an article from one of our curation partners on the Palestinians and Black America relationships solidarity. But I'm gonna be honest, that article's long as hell, and I'm not gonna read it. Like, it's a long article, so we just gonna go ahead and we just gonna get it in without touching up on that article much. I may take a few key points out of it, but I'm not gonna read that whole article, to be honest. But this is from our curation partner, Atlanta Black Star. It says, that will prove nothing. Federal judge allows testing of George Floyd's heart tissue as Derek Chauvin seeks to once again challenge his conviction by claiming Floyd died of a cardiac problem. A federal judge granted lawyers for Derek Chauvin permission to have tissue samples from George Floyd's heart and other body fluids tested in order to pursue an expert witness theory that Floyd died of a heart condition, and not Chauvin kneeling on the 46-year-old Black man's neck for 9.5 minutes. In his bid for a new trial, the former Minneapolis police officer argues that Eric Nelson, the attorney who represented him in his federal trial for violating Floyd's civil rights, provided ineffective assistance of counsel by ignoring communications prior to his December 2021 guilty plea from Dr. William Shassel, a forensic pathologist. Shassel had independently reviewed Floyd's autopsy report and was convinced that Floyd had died from complications from a tumor that had secreted excessive levels of adrenaline, causing a fatal heart attack. In his motion filed on December 13, Shaven, who is serving 20.5-year sentence on federal charges, sought permission to examine evidence, including heart tissue and fluid samples, that he argues could validate the alternate theory on Floyd's primary cause of death. In a previous filing in November, Shaven said that he had known about Schissel and his forensic conclusions. He would not have pleaded guilty and would have insisted on going to trial. On Monday, U.S. District Court Judge Paul Magnuson wrote that given the discovery that Mr. Shaven seeks could support the doctor's opinion of how Mr. Floyd died, the court finds that there is good cause to allow Mr. Shaven to take the discovery that he seeks. The judge ordered the medical examiner's office to allow Shaven's new counsel to obtain and examine samples of Floyd's heart, blood, and urine, as well as photographs of his heart. The office has retained since his autopsy in 2020. At Shaven's murder trial in state court in April 2021, County Chief Medical Examiner Andrew Baker testified that 3 police officers restrained Floyd on the street caused his death. He said Floyd's heart disease and drug use were contributing causes, but not direct causes. The defense witness, Dr. David Fowler, Maryland's retired chief medical examiner, testified that Floyd died of sudden cardiac arrest due to the heart disease while being restrained by the officers and deemed the fentanyl found in Floyd's system contributory conditions along with the tumor discovered during his autopsy. He said he could not rule Floyd's death a homicide. In response to Shaven's latest appeal, federal prosecutors argued in court filings that Nelson made a reasonable tactical decision not to explore an untested, unsolicited opinion offered by someone holding himself as an expert, reported AP News. They noted that Nelson consulted with other medical experts in preparation for Shaven's cases, one of whom testified in the state case, but that the jury in that case rejected Shaven's medical defense. Shaven was convicted of murder and is serving a 22.5 years sentence on the state charges, which run concurrent with the federal sentence. Public opinion about the case seemed as polarized as it was in the days after weeks of Floyd's shocking death, which incited protests, civil unrest, and excessive force and racism among police and the justice system, and calls for policing reform across the country. On Monday, civil rights attorney Ben Crump commented on X about the judge ruling to allow Floyd's heart tissue to be tested, noting that nothing changes what we all watch, his knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Crump's post prompted thousands of responses, many reviving past arguments that Floyd died from a drug overdose and other health problems, exacerbated by stress and not a knee on the neck. Floyd died because he had 4 times the lethal amount of fentanyl in his system in combination with heart disease and arteries that was 75% clogged. The drugs in combination with the heart disease and physical struggle with the police are why he ultimately couldn't breathe and died, wrote one user. Others saw in the recent jury acquittal of Daniel Perry, whose vigilante justice via chokehold calls the death by asphyxiation by Jordan Neal on the New York City subway in 2023, justification to pardon Shaven. Others are less resolute. So, yeah, people have been going back and forth, man. Like I say, this can set up a very dangerous precedent. They're trying to go ahead and they're trying to work this thing into it right now. They're trying to go ahead and find a way that they can go ahead and weasel this man, Derek Chauvin, up out of court. And I'm just going to sit up and tell you straight up, if Derek Chauvin gets up out of court off of something that he basically should have spent the rest of his life in prison for, if he gets out of court, you're going to have some more civil unrest that takes place in this country. It's going to be something else. If they go ahead and they allow this man to go ahead, the man was seen lynching somebody on camera. Okay. Now they're trying to go ahead and talk about that. He had this tumor, talking about his arteries are clogged. They're talking about it with the drugs in his system. Then you relate to stress or whatever. So everything is just, the knee itself. They're trying to say, that was just that was, a non-factor in his death. Everything else, was the reason why he died. Original, what's going on tonight? I see you up here. Can you hear me, Original?
articles up regarding these Palestinians. But yeah, this showed exactly who white people are. As Dr. Clark said, we don't have any friends. And if he's gonna try this, but I think he's gonna fail because he has to explain why did he have his knee on this man's neck for almost 10 minutes, and does he think that was and he can't say that what you said was about the contributing factor. So he has to explain that, and I don't see how he's going to explain that. You know, if he asks me, this just shows just how this country is, and these people think because Donald Trump is back in the White House that they have a free run to basically murder us with impunity. I mean, and they're gonna find out exactly. I think they're gonna find out exactly who black people are. So they know that black folks not gonna stand for this. We're just not, you know, because he know what he did. He did it because he knew he could do it and possibly get away with it. He just knew that. That's how these created food. These people, I keep telling people, these parasites are not human. They don't have a soul. That's how their ancestors did what they did to our ancestors. And that's why they feel like they can do what they want to do to us today. But they're going to find out very soon that those practices just no longer work. And they're going to have to deal with that. And I'll wait before I mention the Palestinians when you.
No. You can. I was gonna say because I had an article on that, but it's such a long article. I don't even want to read up on it. So I just want everybody to go ahead. What's your feeling? Because what's his name? The author Ta-Nehisi Coates. He had a book that came out, and he made the comparison that the old Jim Crow, the old Jim Crow in the South was comparable to the treatment that the Palestinians are actually going through as well too. And an article I had too, it was a long article that they're using all of these examples from the past. They're using the black people's stance on the Vietnam War. They're talking about black Americans standing up for against apartheid in South Africa, trying to go ahead and make that correlation to this. Go ahead, Original.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have some core meetings offline as to how we are going to start dealing with these sellouts like Ta-Nehisi Coates. He does not have the right to compare other people's situation to anything remotely that has happened to us. See, this is how just like those articles I posted inside, I'm looking for another one, but just like those articles I just posted in the Purple Pill, you have this, what they call him, Moist Lamont Hill. He gonna sit up and I saw him on a post where he was saying that those articles wasn't real and this, that, and whatever. And there was another one he was saying that wasn't real as well. See, here's the issue. Palestinians, no one in the so-called Arab, with the degenerate Arabs / degenerate Muslim community like black folks. Okay, let's just be real about that. Now remember, just right before the election, you had Marcel Dixon, what's the brother name? Black Alpha Network, and several others. They was up at, they had some kind of NAACP rally, which the NAACP is not a black organization, and they do not represent our interests. Let me put that out there. So they had some kind of rally in South Carolina, and it was on public property. So the NAACP kicked out Marcel and the other people from coming up, holding up signs stating reparations. This is why the NAACP will not speak on our behalf, because we're not going to allow them to sabotage our reparations fight. They kicked out the black folks who was fighting who was promoting reparations, and allowed the Palestinians to stay there. Now, if you are a friend, you would have stood in solidarity with the black folks, and you would have left because you stood in solidarity with them. The Palestinians didn't leave. They stayed just to promote their own cause. That is not a friend. You know, when I lived in California, there was a radio station called KPFK. It's supposed to be one of these white progressive stations, right? So they had a lot of black programmers that they had fired for whatever reason. The one brother that they left, Brother Ron, he's a Black Panther. So he brought all the people that they fired onto his show to have a conversation. And then they shut his show down. See, he stood in solidarity with the people who they fired. These other people, they don't stand in solidarity with us. All they want to do is use us to promote their little degenerate agenda. And then once they get what they need, then they turn on us. And you see in those articles I posted in the Purple Pill how the black Palestinians, how they have to face all this racism from these white Palestinians who pretend on a global scale, pretend to identify with us and that they are in support of us when they are not. And so that's why I say we must have a conversation offline as to how we are going to go after these people like Ta-Nehisi Coates and the Morris Lamont Hills and the rest of them who think they have the right to use our pain and suffering to defend other people when those same people do not defend us. And I'll land for now.
All right, appreciate that, Original. And I'm gonna get back to you too because I know with you being born in the South and being actually born into Jim Crow, I definitely want to get your feelings on how you constantly keep hearing these comparisons. So I'm gonna definitely get back to you. Is it Indy Left?
Yeah, appreciate that, bro, for letting me speak. And shout out to Brother Original. Every time I come in the room, he always talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that as a elder.
Hey, let's try to watch the language, but go ahead, Indy. You got it.
Okay, my bad, bro. So, the whole Palestinian thing, my thing with that is, like, when I turn on the media or the TV and see black people really speaking on that a lot or sounding really passionate about that, it make me wonder, like, why they don't never call DJ Khaled up there to speak on his own people? Like, why they don't never call him up there?
Another one.
Right. Like, call that guy. And to speak to the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd thing, like, there's another, like, Derek Chauvin did that before to somebody else and killed them too and got away with that. So that's not even being talked about. He put a knee on somebody else's neck and got away with that. And I ain't gonna say too much about if they let this case go on. And I'm surprised they even letting the case go on like this and fan flames like that, because I've seen times where certain judges or in situations they say, oh, well, we're not even going to hear that case because it's so ridiculous. Like, they do that to black people all the time, don't even want to hear your case. So for them to even hear this case, it make you want to look at who the judges are, who are the politicians that's not immediately protesting or going on MSNBC or going on these leftist media and speaking on how outrageous it is. We got to call them to the fire, yo. Like, that, it's crazy to me. And I'm gonna just say this, like, just like Brother Original said, like, I don't think they want to let that man out and off no precedent like that. And my thing with George Floyd was when they say, whatever resistance he had in the situation, like, from the videos I seen, he was handcuffed while he was in the car. You took him out the car, put him on the ground. He was handcuffed behind his back. So I never saw any resistance. So that's a lie within itself. And Candace Owens peddling that theory about this. I would like to ask her, okay, well, ma'am, since you don't do fentanyl and don't have any of these ailments that y'all claim and kill him, Why don't you lay down on the ground and let me put my knee on your neck for 9 minutes? Since you so healthy and don't do any of these, have any of these ailments or any of these drugs in your system, and I'm gonna see if you live. I ain't mean to say that like that and make it sound so harsh, but you got to say this to these people to make them get it. Like, cause I'm tired of people playing games, but they better not let that man out. I'm gonna tell you right now, shit gonna go up in smoke. Excuse me, and I'll land right there. All
right. Indy, you had said too that Shaven, and I thought I heard something about that Shaven had also, you said he had also killed another man before with that same tactic, you saying?
Yep, and they've been hiding it. Just Google it. Well, I'll try to find it for you, but if you Google it, he had another case like that where he killed somebody. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yeah.
Go ahead, DJ. Because you got your hand up, so go ahead and get it in. And anybody else down there as well. To shout out to all our people. We was having some technical issues, so we had to restart this space up. So definitely, for those that can come on up here. I know we got a lot of intelligent people up in the room tonight. We're speaking on the situation going on with Derek Chauvin trying to go ahead. And I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't sit right with me for the simple fact that they're gonna use this man's body as a guinea pig to go almost 5 years later, and you're gonna start talking about testing his urine and all this other stuff. And his, I don't like that. And then you're trying to find a way to weasel and get this man up out of prison as well too. If you can get him up out of prison, and the other ones that stood there and participated and didn't do anything either, they'll be coming out as well too. So no, I don't like this. Detroit 6, I saw you came up. Did you want to go ahead and get it in?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. You got it. How you doing tonight?
All right, man. I'm at work and chilling and stuff, but about that situation right there, I told her I had left 2019, but I was up there for like about 16, 17 years and everything, and that was the boiling point, because within like 3 years prior to that, stuff like that been going down in there. My man got shot in front of the Elks Club. The Masons, they got an Elks Club up there, which is right across the street, right down the street from the police station. And we were out there protesting one time, and they shot the dang on protester. You know what I'm saying? 2 white boys shot the protester. So that, and honestly, man, they're gonna let them out, and they're gonna do that to see what we're gonna do. They're gonna let that man out, and that's all I gotta say. They're gonna let him out, and they want to. All I can say, y'all know what time it is if you let them out. If that happens, like you just said, they're gonna let the other guys out, and everything prior to that, they're gonna let out, and everything going henceforth, they're gonna get convicted of. So they trying to see where we stand. They think our generation is not gonna really mobilize and organize, and they got another thing coming. You know what I'm saying? So what we doing right now is perfect, and like Richard said, we need to get offline and talk, get off this app and talk, and that's all I can say. We just got to figure out other means of communication right now. Again, we can't let them see can't let the left hand see what the right hand doing. So we got to be a little more slicker now, So I'm gonna leave it at that, though.
Absolutely. Thank you, Detroit. And I think you and we all in agreement, me, you, Indy. I mean, if you really want to see things go sideways, then go ahead and let this man come up out of prison. Because the United States suffered billions of dollars in property damage from those protests and everything else back in 2020, 2021. And I know they're not trying to have that go on as well, too. But if you do this, then you're just basically inciting a riot yourself, because things are gonna go sideways. I'm not trying to say too much on this app either, but I know a lot of people that's just not gonna sit well with them, and a lot of people are gonna take actions into their own hands, so that's not a good thing. DJ, go ahead, you got it. You there, DJ? Okay, I don't know. DJ may have stepped away. Original, I want to get back to you. Since DJ's not in the space, or he may have stepped away from his phone. Like I say, Well, we know we know that you're older than most of the people, probably in the space and stuff like that, and you're from the deep South, Georgia. Were you born? You were born in Georgia too, right? Original.
Yes, I was born in Georgia. I was born in Carrollton, Georgia. My father was born in Hopewell, Alabama. My mother was born in Randolph County, Alabama. So I have Alabama, Georgia roots, and a lot of my family on my mother's side, they are from Alabama. So yeah. So I grew up down here. Yes.
So, as somebody who was born in the deep South and went through you went through segregation. I mean, when you hear the comparison, and I don't mean to downplay what the people in Palestine are going through, but when you hear that comparison, that that we talk about the solidarity between Black and Palestinians, and then we also get the comparison of Jim Crow and and what they're going through over there as well too. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it makes me angry because see, there is no comparison, as I said earlier. Due to their degenerate Muslim, Arab religion, whatever the hell they call it, Palestinians do not like Black folks. Because there was one article I put in there where it said that the Black Palestinians face double racism. They get the racism from the Israelis and they get the racism from the Palestinians. So for them to say, for anyone to try to link their pain and suffering to ours, and if they're supposed to be one of us, they are a traitor. Because if you go throughout the Arab world, none of these countries, you got a lot of these countries like Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Lebanon, what's another one? If you go to any of these so-called Arab countries, they treat Black people as if slavery still exists. Oftentimes, they are enslaving the Black folks that come over there. They lure them over there to, for job prospects and everything. They take their passports, do not allow them to leave. They are basically enslaved. And even now with Libya, well, prior to that, see when Muammar Gaddafi was headed Libya, he approached everybody, a lot of folks like to call him this great person. I don't see that because he told the European, I got to find this article, he told the European countries that if they pay him X number of billions of dollars, he would keep the Africans from immigrating to Europe. Does that sound like a friend? No, but see, people give him all this praise and he was trying to unify Africa. No, he was trying to control everything what he was doing because that's what those people do. So there is nothing similar to what the Palestinians are going through than what our ancestors went through and what we are going through today. There is no comparison. They're just trying to use us to see around the world. Black people's pain and suffering carries weight. Just as when we would not take a side in that squabble between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Both of them wanted us to pick a side, and we said, no, this ain't our fight. Y'all handle your own stuff. We're not getting in between this because both of you are anti-Black racists. So if you treat the people that are over there badly, what do you think? We know how you would treat us. And let me say this too. Now it was said, and I'll say allegedly because it was said, I haven't done the research. I'll say allegedly, they said the people where they claimed George Floyd trying to pass a fake $20 bill at this convenience store, it was said that allegedly it was owned by Palestinians. So does that sound like a friend? And they said it was never clear that they tried to pass a fake $20 bill. So no. And even growing up here, we knew we knew like there was places that we couldn't go. Because I remember as a child, I was a child when a lot of this stuff was going on. So some of it I don't remember, but the vestiges of it as I was coming into my consciousness, but the vestiges of it was still there. I mean, for instance, we were walking home from school and went to this little dime store, And this white lady got upset because it was like me and I don't know how many little boys, we was all just, walking home from school together. It was about maybe about 6 or 8 of us. And she got mad because I told her she had to give us a receipt. We were all buying stuff. I said, no, you got to give me a receipt because if I walk out the door, you can say I stole something. And they were they was bad about claiming that black folks stole something. So our parents taught us, don't ever go to these stores and not get a receipt. Because if you walk out of there without a receipt, they can say you stole it and then you're in trouble. You have nothing to show that you purchased these items. So that's what I mean by the vestiges of that, and they're still in play today. A black person can go into a store and be charged with theft and they didn't do anything. So yeah, so I understand, but no, there is under no circumstance. Here's the issue. Everybody want to come in and they want to use our pain and suffering. But when we identify ourselves with somebody else, see, like back in the 90s, when the reparation issue was kind of hot, but due to the players that were promoting it, in Cobras and others, it didn't kick off the way it has now. But it was floated that maybe we could work with the Jews and they could help us get reparation, and they said hell no. You see, but they wanted us to take a side with them with this Palestinian-Israeli issue. See how that work? They'll come to us for support, but we go to them and say, hey, can you support? Hell no, and they tell you hell no. So none of these people, as Dr. Clark said, we don't have any friends. Even a lot of those that look like us, whether they are part of the descendant community or not, they're not our friend. And that's just real, and that's just the way it is. So people need to understand that we are on our own, and we have to take the reins of this and make sure that people like Ta-Nehisi Coates and Morris Lamont Hill and the rest of them understand they do not have the right to extend our pain and suffering to anybody, because there is no other group on this planet that has been treated the way we've been treated in our land.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Original. Let me go ahead and get to Indy, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get to. Matter of fact, Indy, let me come back to you and let me get to the new speakers, and I'm gonna get to you. Let me go ahead and get to Stephanie. Stephanie.
Hey, look, I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted to let everybody know that I put that information in the purple pill about what I was talking about the other incident, and I also put in there where, even though not no pro-Democrat shit, but Biden's DOJ did at least oppose them reopening that little case or whatever. So they did oppose. So I just want to throw that in there.
All right. Let me go ahead and I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Stephanie. Miss Stephanie, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. How about yourself? I love everybody in here.
Yes, ma'am. We're all doing good.
We're watching on TV, that thing loud, sister.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say, Original, you're right. I mean, you're right, especially with the Palestinians, because number one, we've been through this. We've been on this merry-go-round numerous times, and it seems like every time we extend our hand out to help somebody, 2-3 decades later, they turn around and stab us directly in the back. And sometimes it don't even take that long for them to turn around and call you the N-word again. Okay, yes, the store was owned by Palestinian Americans. The man came 31 years ago, opened up a little mini mart, and he's amassed a fortune off of black money. Okay, I don't know the demographics in that part of Minnesota, but he's made his fortune off of us. And my thing is this. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a Democratic Christmas party, and all of the Palestinian protesters, they stormed that party, and they were attacking a lot of black folks in there, trying to force black people to align with them. And a lot of them was our elders. A lot of them were young. A lot of them were, they was of various ages, but a lot of them were attacked. Some of them had knots, bruises. scratches and everything on them. And some of them were called the N-word because it was a black lady said, these mother effers came in and they started calling us the N-word, trying to force us to align with them. She said, F these people. I'm not going to help these people. Anytime they need help, they can forget it. So we can't forget who people is. They will always show their hand towards you. Now, as far as Derek Chauvin, he's had numerous abuse cases against him, and it was him and it was another one that had a couple of that Asian guy. I can't think of his name right now. He's had some reports against him too for physical abuse. So, that's all they've been doing was roughing people up on they 15 and 20-year careers. And, that just tells you that we need to go back to legislation, and they need to be held accountable on their charges. But I just wanted to say that, and that's all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Thank you. Rella, I saw you was up here earlier, but you must have dropped now. So if you get a chance, Rella, I know you might be busy, but whenever you get a chance, definitely come back up here. I see my man Professor's up here. Professor, what's going on tonight?
Yeah, what's up there to the space? Definitely to my brother Tota and DJ and Original. It's always good to see you guys up in here. I see Ray down there, and definitely to my sisters Trouble and Rilla. And don't worry, Rilla gonna get her in now. She's gonna come on up here. It might last about 30 to 45 minutes, but she'll be up here. Much love to you, Rilla. But anyway, I will say this, y'all. We already know that we cannot get out here and support other groups. That time is over. The time for helping other groups is over. We have to be about helping our own people and giving grace to our own people. We can no longer go out and support the Palestinian causes, Israelites, whatever group it is that's asking for our help to support their causes is out. Well, let me just put it this way. I know I'm not going to be out there protesting with you. You can forget it. I'm going to help with my people because my people are the ones that need to help ourselves, okay? We need to give grace to ourselves. We need to look out for ourselves because we have always given grace and help to others, and others have never given the grace back to us. So therefore, family is out. It's over. As DJ always say, it's over. It's over, baby. No supporting coming from this Black American to other groups. Now, when it comes to our people, we, for some reason, have this mentality that we got to be the super capers for others. And we just can't do it anymore because we are the ones that are hurting in this country. We are right now at the bottom of the totem pole, and we continue to have white America that's continuing to throw things in our way to keep us from gaining any kind of wealth in this country. So I'm just telling you, we got to forget about helping these other groups. I'm not here to support nobody else. Now, they talking about this situation with George Floyd, right? You see how they keep continuing to try to dig up these racist, no good, murdering people like a Daniel Penny. They continue to try to get these people off. They continue to try to give these people grace, and they know these folks have killed somebody of our lineage, and they still will try to find a way to get these folks out of that trouble, out of that jam. See, this is why I say we got to be on the code of stopping all of this and helping our own. We can't worry about other people, man. They trying to do things to keep us down and hurt us. So we have to think about us. This George Floyd case, we shouldn't even be talking about this guy, Derek Chauvin, right now. He should just be locked up and never get a chance to get out. He did the crime. He needs to just continue to do the time, okay? But they trying to find any kind of way to get this guy out. And see, Daniel Penny should be locked up. But look what they did. They found any way they could to keep them from being locked up. They doing all kinds of stuff, folks, to show you that they want us to continue to be a second-class citizen in a country that our ancestors built, and they want you to know that, hey, we can kill you guys anytime we want to. That's right, and that's exactly what they're doing. When you see them continuing to do stuff like this, they try to tell you, we don't want you to be up here where we are. We want you to understand that you're at the bottom of the totem pole, and we can do what we want to you. So we got to stop caping for other groups. And what makes me mad as I continue to watch these videos of Brandon Johnson over there in Chicago talking about how he wants to cape and help the immigrants and trying to compare their plight to our plight, I get really mad to the point that I want to go to Chicago to get in on this guy. Because he is a complete disgrace to be trying to bring any immigrant group in to help their cause when really the only cause you should be trying to help is the cause of the people right there in Chicago, Black Americans right there in Chicago. And that's how I feel about all of the Black American family across this nation. We should only be in to help our causes only. And that's where that's the time we got to be on. Where Original is absolutely right. Stop trying to cape for these other groups. We don't have time for it. Just be on the time of helping your own. And I'm going to land right there.
You know, Professor, I wouldn't have an issue helping other groups if they have a history of helping us. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out right here because I remember a couple months ago, me and somebody, you know, we kind of had a back and forth because it was an article or it was somebody put a comment out or something. They were trying to shame Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar for not speaking up about the situation in Gaza. And I think I responded. I said, well, when was the last time, you know, the Palestinians that they spoke up for on behalf of Black Americans over here? And I'm just trying to figure out, growing up and stuff like that, I don't ever remember, you know, even these Muslim type nations reaching out, trying to support Black people. Now, they may support a Black person if they're a celebrity, they're a star. If Muhammad Ali, after he got through boxing, if he came and made a tour of the Middle East, of course, they're going to roll out the red carpet treatment for Muhammad Ali, because let's be honest and let's be real right here. Muhammad Ali, the former heavyweight champion, is the second most famous Muslim in the history of the world. Only the Prophet Muhammad would have been more popular than Muhammad Ali and more known than Muhammad Ali. So you rolling out the red carpet for him, you know, that's nothing big. You rolling out the carpet for Farrakhan coming over there is nothing big. But I'm talking about the average Joe Smo. I'm talking about me, you, any of us in this space right here. If we were to go over there, we hear about the treatments of Black people in these Muslim nations over there in the Middle East. We hear about the treatment of these Black people over there in Israel as well too. We've heard all about what were they sterilizing? You had some of the Black Hebrews over there talking about they were being sterilized over there in Israel and stuff like that as well too. We know the long history of Muslims when they took slaves back, castrating Black men and everything else like that as well too. So I'm just trying to figure out, when have we had this reciprocal relationship in which they helped us and we helped them out? Because maybe I'm missing something. I don't remember growing up in the 90s, you know, Muslims coming and running to the aid of Black people. Now I know a lot of times when they is sitting around religion or something like that, they want to say, well, you know, Islam is a Black man's religion and this and that. Outside is religious talk. When I don't ever remember them coming to the aid of Black people. I don't ever remember them standing up for Black people. And I think you had some people that was one time they were taking like little small segments. They may show a couple people of Palestinians out there talking about Black Lives Matter or something like that. But I'm saying, no, man, like when Black people in this country get behind you, they get all the way behind you. It's not just tiny, small pockets. You know, I mean, it's large numbers of people. It was large numbers of Black people saying hell no to the Vietnam War. It was large numbers of Black people saying hell no to apartheid. It was large numbers of Black people saying, hey, you're treating the Haitians unfair. I don't see this. I've never seen this with Palestinians. So I'm just trying to figure out this solidarity, because the one reason I didn't read this article, and it came off the Newstoter platform, one reason I didn't read it because it really seemed like it was a all lives matter, all groups, this and that. They're talking about all of the things, how black people in the 50s and 60s and how we got the Jewish people involved in the civil rights movement, going all the way back to W.E.B. Du Bois and his involvement. Because at one time, W.E.B. Du Bois was saying that he was a ardent supporter of the Zionists and everything else like that. And he kind of stepped away because he thought that would create a greater spread of Pan-Africanism and Liberian all throughout the world as well too. And we saw that didn't happen. He kind of faded back from it. So I'm just trying to figure this out. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna get the Twizzle and I'm gonna get to my girl Stephanie again. Anybody else that wants to speak, come on up. But maybe I'm missing something. Twizzle, you was in the 90s like me. When did we see this huge this collaboration of Palestinians and Black Americans?
Never. Because it wasn't about no Palestinians, it wasn't about no Iranians, it wasn't about no Lebanese and none of that. It was just Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we all saw them. And how, you know what this is to me? Shout out to the room. Shout out to everybody in here. Ish, I see you in here. Hey, mommy. What's up, everybody? Stephanie, Professor Black. I just want to say, to me, you know what this sound like? This sound like the Palestinians are trying to jump on the black and brown bandwagon train. You know what I'm saying? Remember how the Hispanics jumped on us? Oh, black and brown now, black and brown now. Now everything you see, every plight that you hear or grief that you hear is black and brown. We really need to clip them off like a dead limb because there is no black and brown coalition. I'm from California. Everybody in California knows Southern California is a war with blacks and Hispanics down there. So there is no black and brown coalition. And see, the Palestinians, they see the progress that the Latin community made jumping on the black and brown hype. They're trying to jump themselves on the bandwagon too. They didn't hitch their train to ours, and they're trying to run on it too. And that's why we really need to clip the black and brown thing. It's only black people are taking care of home. I've been saying this since I came into these spaces. We are taking care of home. We taking care of us in our house. My dad always told me, boy, worry about your house because if you keep looking out your window, worrying about what your neighbor doing, somebody gonna be coming in your back door stealing your wife, you know? That's what's going on right now. The brown came in the back door and they're stealing our rights. They're stealing our privileges and they're stealing our necessities. Out here in California, California's Mexico again. You know, you remember we took Mexico from them and they sold Mexico, I think, for 15 million. Now they kind of like, wait, got it back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Palestinians are doing. And pretty soon, I guarantee you're going to see a bunch of their lawyers coming up trying to adequate civil rights. You know what I'm saying? In their argument now. So, hey, I just came back because, you know, my phone was ringing earlier, Newstoter, and I took a phone call. So I just came back to put my 2 cents on the Palestinian part because we talked on the George Floyd's testing part. So I was, you know, jumping in on there. Shout out to the room. Shout out to my family. And we're going to put our irons to the fire for this. All our needs, all our fights, and all our grievances is black grievances. No black and brown, no foreigners, no immigrant rights, no LGBTQ, transgender, or Optimus Prime and Decepticon. None of that. It's black agenda, black first. That's the code, and that's what we live by. And that's more. I drop my mic. Peace, y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Twizzle. Definitely. And Extreme X says, you notice the black people in Detroit. Extreme X is on YouTube too. He says, you notice the black people in Detroit aren't protesting anything in Gaza. Those people are racist in Detroit. So shout out to Extreme X for relaying that message as well too. Let me go ahead.
Hey, not to cut you off. I saw it. I just left Detroit. I was in Detroit in September. I saw it, dude. The Muslims run the whole airport. The Muslims run the whole airport in Detroit. I saw it.
This country, I say what you want to about America. They will sell out in a heartbeat for $1. They got all kinds. I mean, they just giving away land to foreign nations and foreign entities and corporations and everything else like that. A fist over $1. Let me go ahead and get to Stephanie. Stephanie, go ahead and unmute your mic.
There's a person that didn't speak, so you can let them go. The school.
The school, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. Yeah, just wanted to say that in Israel, we have 50,000 Black Americans. They're called Ramona Israelis. They believe that they were the chosen people are Jews, and they believe that they're in Israel. They believe Israel is the chosen land. So they're actually there. They're in the military. They're in some of the politics. So I say whatever people choose about the Palestinians and Black Americans' relationship, just remember that you have a people over there that are 50,000, over 50,000, and they're chilling in Israel. So not to say I hate Palestinians, but they're no different than the Hispanics in terms of their agendas and motives. So I'm not saying we should stick with Jews per se, but considering that we have people over there, I don't know if people want to start switching sides, as that's one switching sides might affect the other, especially since the Republican Party, DI, has agreed to only sending money to Israel and removing the rest of the nation. So we'll be working with just Israel, and we'll be removing China from even from our partnership. So just letting you guys know that we do have people over there, and any decision that we make over here will affect them over there. So that's just something I had wanted to say. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Now to clarify that real quick, you saying there's 50,000, or you saying, because I kind of got that mixed up. There's 50,000 Black Jews. Are you trying to say 50,000 what now?
Black Americans. Oh, okay. So Black Americans. Okay, so I didn't explain.
Oh, okay. So it's 50,000 Black Americans you're saying over there.
Yeah. They back in the 70s, the Jews and people were Black. They were chosen people. Black people were chosen people, which they are. But they made a mecca to Israel back in the 70s. They were from Chicago, and they've been living there ever since. They're in the 50,000s. So those are actually our people. Those are actually Black Americans. So yeah, any decision that we really make against Palestine is going to affect them there. They do have their own unique issues there. I believe we should just recall them. We should recall them back home. But at the same time, I believe this is a strategic position, because while they're there, they could influence the politics in our favor. We can represent us in that nation. So that's just something that was just kind of interesting.
I saw that. I saw that some years ago too. I did see that. Now, if I'm wrong, now they were kind of being excluded by the government and everything else over there as well too. Am I correct?
Yes. The government, they don't see them as an offensive group. They don't see them as they're kind of neutral about them. They're like, okay, these Black Americans, they believe that they're Jews, and it's just like, the Jews don't really take them seriously. I believe they can participate in the military. I believe they do have citizenship. But yeah, they were kind of pushed away, and they're kind of on the Palestinian side. So yeah, there is a bit of a conflict, but I haven't checked back with them in a while, so I have no idea what's going on there. But yeah, they're dealing with some unique issues over there.
Appreciate that. Thank you, the school, for coming up here. Stephanie, I'm gonna get to you real quick. Sound like somebody may have their mic unmute. Okay. Yeah, somebody is Detroit. I think your mic might not be muted. There you go. I'm gonna get to you, Stephanie, but I got Ish up here. I want to get to her real quick. She's a new speaker. Ish, how you doing tonight? I love the commentary you provide as well, too. Very insightful young lady. So I want to hear exactly what you think about tonight's discussion and the topics at hand.
Yes, peace to you, Brother Newstoter. Thank you for the space. I just wanted to come up and ask that gentleman about the research or any tangibles that he has specifically to verify that those people are, in fact, ethnically Black Americans, because there is actually no conclusive evidence of that specifically lineage-wise. So those people might be melanated, but might not necessarily be specifically descendants of chattel slavery in America. So that's why I wanted to ask if he had any information on that. That's the first thing. But the next thing is also that there has been a monumental amount of pushback for that community over there from the Israeli government and obviously the layman citizens of Israel as well in regards to their proximity to Judaism. And they're essentially regarded as converts. which is not, it's not necessarily vitriolic in nature, because you have people who properly practice the Jewish faith and whatever, and abide by the traditionalisms of that. So it's not vitriolic in nature, but there is vitriol there between the two communities. The other thing I want to say, so first I want to say a little something about Palestine. Black Americans have had a very long-standing relationship with Palestine and have actually been supporting Palestine for almost 100 years without any reciprocity. If we're talking about solidarity, and I'll just define solidarity, right? Union or fellowship arising from common responsibilities and interests as between members of a group or between classes of peoples. But it's also a commonality or a shared understanding of responsibilities and interests. So the idea that we have Palestinians who are being, in some respects, xenophobic, anti-Black American, and vitriolic, when we've had a long-standing history of aiding them without reciprocity, it adds insult to injury, not just to the situation at hand and asking for us to advocate for them without that reciprocity, but also being vitriolic about it, because we've had a community of Palestinians who've gotten on this very app and other apps like TikTok and Facebook to accuse Black Americans of participating willingly in what's happening to them and the harms that are happening to them. And I find that to be weird when we do have that long-standing, tangible history of aiding them and speaking out against our government, speaking out against other people, and practicing solidarity in foreign relations when it comes to Palestine. So that's just, I'll leave that there, and you can do with it what you want, but for me, it's the irony. It's really the irony. But the last thing I want to say is about the whole George Floyd thing. So I am a part-time resident of Minnesota. I grew up in Minnesota. I was raised in Minnesota. And so I'm fully aware, and I saw Reverend Tim in here earlier, who I know is also a fellow native local Minnesotan. And so I was very present for all of the events before, during, and after what happened with Brother George Floyd. And I think that this becomes a legal deflection. Obviously, we know why. He wants to be freed. He wants to be released. But again, it becomes a legal deflection because, the medical examiner ruled what happened to that man and his death as a cause of his neck being kneeled upon for several minutes, which is not in any way, when you're a peace officer, it's not how you're supposed to conduct yourself, especially when you have somebody who's handcuffed, right? And that was the central focus that a lot of people like to ignore. And just as they like to ignore some of the other elements that happened, like, the burning down of the neighborhoods, blaming that on Black people too. And I'm telling you as someone who was there and watched white men with backpacks, even Black masks and hats, go into these buildings and burn them down with my own eyes. Okay. It really just, it goes back to the focal point of people feeling comfortable with any time, in the anecdotal point where we receive any type of justice, people still fight to strip that away, to foster injustice by stripping away justice, because this man should be in prison. He should be in prison for the rest of his life, point blank period, just like people like Daniel Finney should be in prison. And it really comes down to essentially the sentiment of socializing people, and not just socializing people, but emboldening people to come here to this country and treat Black Americans any kind of way, and then tell Black Americans that you have to take it, you have to lie down, you have to take it and accept it, and then you have to help us when anything harmful happens to us. And if you don't, it's problematic. So we're dealing with, physical and spiritual warfare, and we're dealing with the spirit of narcissism, and issues centering and related to the spirit of narcissism. And that's essentially what this is. From the issue with Palestine, from the issue with Derek Chauvin, and wanting to, look at the information on his heart and so on and so forth. Like, that's all a deflection from the fact of the moral aspect that you shouldn't have shouldn't be kneeling on anyone's neck at all, especially not a person who's handcuffed, right? So, forgive me, and I don't want to be abhorrent, but this is to take it and connect it to, or piggyback off of the original point, people are going to have to hold their own nuts, right? And this is why we really, really, really need to be very steadfast and continue fostering and evolving the strategy, but fostering the understanding that it is okay for us to practice self-care and self-love and self-preservation and say, no, I cannot help you. I don't wish you any harms. I don't wish you any ills. Yes, genocide is wrong and it should be happening to no one, but because it is happening to my people, I cannot combat my own genocide and yours. And my people have been trying to do that, and that would work if there was the element of reciprocity. But because there is not, today and every day after today, the answer is no, and the door is closed. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yes, ma'am. And Ish, I want to ask you one quick question before you go, or I just want to put it out there because I'm not sure. I saw it was a documentary. It might have been a couple years ago, and too bad the gentleman did the school. He did leave the actual chat too. I like you were saying about. I just assumed. Like I said, that video was a YouTube video I saw maybe or something. It was either YouTube or Comcast. I don't know. It was some kind of documentary, but I just assumed that the black people that went over there to the Israel and and it had to be in the 70s, I think, when they left over there. I just assumed that they were Black Americans at that time. So I'm not entirely sure, but you're saying that there's really no way to verify that for certain.
Yes, there is no way to specifically verify their lineage. I did research this a little bit because I wanted to know if out of those 50,000, I know that the research that they do have, or I guess the information that they do have, is somewhere around 25,000. I'm not saying there's none. I'm not even saying that the majority or a good portion of those individuals aren't Black American. But as far as verifying that lineage-wise, it hasn't been verified lineage-wise, and that's the tricky part, right? Because the last 4 years, this is something that they did practicing the last 4 years, and within the last 4 years, we as Black Americans have understood and began to politically practice the importance of delineation, because we have a lot of people who say I'm a Black American and are not and don't understand that the context of that is from the context of lineage, the context of ethnicity, not just simply race and nationality. We're talking about an ethno-cultural group of people that are foundational to this specific country and the history and everything that encompasses that. And so that's why I say, I wanted to ask, because we do need to be careful. And we do need to, just as we delineate here, when it comes to Black Americans going into other places and becoming expats, we also need to encourage delineating conduct or delineating relations or delineating populations of expats in other countries. We need to delineate that data as well to protect ourselves from the social narratives that have been thrown around and the social narratives that continue to be thrown around.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. I appreciate that. And thank you for coming up to speak tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get to Stephanie again. Anybody else that wants to speak down there in the listener section, guys, come on up here. We want to hear what you guys got to say. Miss Nita asked a question. She said, is George Floyd's family speaking out about this? If they haven't, I certainly hope they do. They need to be the loudest, most vocal group there is out there. So if they haven't said anything about this situation, I certainly hope they do. This is what all these are, and we always talking about the NAACP. Matter of fact, last night we had a speaker talking about the NAACP and supporting them and stuff like that as well too. So this is what these quote unquote Black organizations need to go out there and get in front of this right now. The CBC, supposedly another group representing Black people, should be up there saying something about this as well too, because this is no joking matter what they're trying to do right here. So all of these organizations, all these groups, definitely the family. I definitely want to hear what the family definitely needs to come out, and we definitely need to throw our support behind the family as well too. So I'm hoping very soon, if they have not said anything publicly, I'm hoping that it won't be too long, because they definitely need to go ahead and let their feelings known about this. And this is just, I mean, this is not a good look for this country right here. This is not a good look for this country, and this is not a good thing if this happens. Let me go ahead and get to Stephanie. DJ, are you back in the space? I don't know, because I know you be in here or not, but okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let Stephanie go ahead. You and Original hold it down for 1 second, and I'll be right back. Go ahead, Stephanie. You got it.
Oh, DJ's back.
Oh, okay, but he's gonna let you go though, and then he'll go after you.
Okay. There's two things I wanted to clarify, right? Number one, when people say that the Jews was in the civil rights movement and they helped with NAACP, you got to understand, and you know, it's not to say that I'm anti-Semitic, but I want to speak fact. These people were not in it to uplift Black people. They were only in it for their own self-interest, okay? They were only in it to help themselves. Okay, yeah, let's push Black people to the front because they're the ones that's taking the scrapes and the bruises, right? But they were the ones that was moving from within and gotten into all of our politicians, and this is how they were able to build up organizations to keep everybody at bay. Let's not forget any of that. And secondly, how come the Palestinians are not going after the Saudi prince when the Saudi prince says he doesn't care about what goes on in Palestine? He doesn't support. He don't care about it. Even Egypt built a special wall to keep the Palestinians from coming in. So how come they're not attacking those people for their blatant anti-Palestinian stance? You know, they don't care. They're only in it for their own self-interest. Why is it always that they have to target Black Americans in this situation? And Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I'm going to say it the way Dr. Umar Johnson said, he needs about 50,000 lashes just for being stupid. Okay? And I'm just tired of them trying to mesh. They're pretty much diluting our fight. And they're diluting our heritage. And this is what you can look at as another form of ethnocide too. You know, because not only are they doing it economically, but they're doing it politically. And NAACP and Urban League and all these other so-called leaders that want to represent the Black voice, they need to be ashamed of themselves. They all need to be exposed. All of this need to come out in the wash. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
All right, we thank you for that, Stephanie. And I want to say this right here. I think it was around like 2012, between 2010 and 2013 or so. You all remember when they was talking about the Somali pirates, right? Where, see, you had these European and Asian companies, they was dumping their toxic waste in the Somali seawater. And so the Somalis started commandeering these ships coming through their seawaters. And that's where that movie, what was it, Captain whatever, some movie they made, discussing that issue. But what happened is the Somalis, they are a Muslim nation. They appealed to this Arab League for some support, and their appeal went on deaf ear. Okay, those Arabs did not give a crap about them because of their skin color. Do not, anyone that hears this on the replay or whatever, do not get it twisted. Arabs don't like Black folks, and you get them, some of them now, they're trying to say that they are brown. No, you're not. You are white. You are degenerate white at that. And so people, and like I said, people always come to us because they know the world participated in our pain and suffering, and they understand that, and they know that if they can get us, if they could attach themselves to us, everything would go more smoothly for them, more than likely, because we are supporting them. But but those days are gone. People need to understand, high-profile Black people do not speak for us. If the grassroots does not approve of you, you do not get our support. That's how that works. Because we've had to take the power away from the CB CBC, the NAACP, and when you mentioned about the Jews, I was doing some research on them, and in the 1910s and 20s, it was said that Jews were doing more blackface than any other group in this country. But catch this though, they did it because they wanted to take the target off of their backs and put it on our back. These people have never been our friends. They have always hated. They were involved in the slave trade. They'll try to say, well, our involvement was minimal. I don't care if you were just looking and you were still involved. So you don't get a get out of jail free card for that. See, that's why they bought off basically the CBC and these other so-called black groups and people like Al Sharpton and others. They bought them off. So they are no longer any good for us. And this is why it is a must that we begin to speak forcefully and let these people know, you do not represent me. Just like today, Cori Bush had posted something about, I think it was about the Palestinians or something. And I'm like, this is a damn shame. She is out because she neglected her own constituents. That's what these people do. They want our vote, and they get in there and they represent every demographic except for us. And they understand now because you're going to see some things happening pretty soon because see now the Democrats know that we do not rock with them. The only way we will rock with them is if they're going to deliver resources to us. And they have no intention on doing that. And we cannot trust these black elected officials to do anything for us. But yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there because there seems to be this sentiment, and you get it from a lot of these black Muslims that, we have the same. No, there is nothing the same. Palestinians, if you look deep enough, you will find that Palestinians had black slaves. No, these people are not us, and especially those the people of the Jewish belief. They're not. No, all these people are parasites. They've been leeching off of us. But now that we have awakened and we are removing their tentacles from us, and they're scurrying around wondering how they're going to reconnect to us, we're not going to allow it. And I'll land.
All righty, I'm back. I heard you going in. I caught you towards the tail end. Original sound like he was going in as well too. Sorry, I missed what Stephanie was saying. What about Moku? I see you up here. Did you want to speak, Moku? Or are you good?
Yeah, I thought I had my hand up. Apologies. I just wanted to state that we can't forget that to the Jews we are the goyim. Okay, we are the wasted class. You know, the bottom of the bottom. We've never had any camaraderie with Jews. I mean, even back when Cadillac Records and all of the record companies, when they were raping all of our our elders and our old musicians like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, and I mean, we can't have no Negro-nesia when it comes to.
You there, Moku? Sound like we lost you. You still there? Moku probably driving. We might have lost him. He might have hit an area. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Moku? Yeah, I think. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we lost you.
I am. Yeah, I'm driving. Oh, it is. But yeah, no agree with me. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Appreciate you chiming in tonight, Moku. Shout out to all our people up in here. I see my girl Trouble down there. I see my girl Val down there. I see, of course, Rella, Black Majority State. Miss Nita, Melissa, all y'all up in the space tonight. A bunch of y'all up in here. Feel free, guys, to come on up here. We're not gonna keep this space going too much longer. We're not gonna keep it going too much longer, and this will be the last space for the week as well. Too, gotta go ahead and give a quick shout out to support Newstoter on Cash App, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, for my people on YouTube and my people on X, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Go ahead and support Black-owned business, even if it's just $1 to contribute. It is greatly appreciated. Also, support us on PayPal or Venmo. That's up in the description, and that's up in the Jumbotron. That's on the description on YouTube, and that's up in the Jumbotron here on X. So, like I said, I'm trying to get a couple more people to see if they're going to come. We can get a couple more of our people to come up here and speak if we can. Professor, I know you were kind of on the point earlier when you were talking about the relationship, and like I said, I've never seen it. I know Twizzle was saying it too. I've never seen this whole relationship between Black and Palestinian. At least I can say here in the South. I can't speak for any other region. And let me be even more specific. Here in Florida, we never had this big there was never this big inclusion of Black and Palestinians and stuff like that too. So if it was solidarity, I can honestly say I've never really seen it. Now, Black people have been pretty solid with every group, and no matter what oppressed group has been on the face of this planet, Black people have reached out to them. Black people have supported, whether it's actually being as a present on the actual ground, or sending aid to them, or food, shelter, water, whatever it is. I mean, money, you name it. They supported that way. So I don't really know all about the solidarity thing. Like I say, I must have missed it. I didn't see it in the 90s. I didn't see it in the 2000s. I didn't see it any of this other time. So if it was going on or whatever, I missed it. I can't say, DJ, you up there in New Jersey. What's up? Did you see this, the Black and Palestinian solidarity up there in New Jersey?
Well, hell no.
Nah. Professor, I'm sure Professor ain't seen it in Alabama. Miss Stephanie's up there in New York.
No. no solidarity between us and the people that smell like gold and curry. No solidarity.
So I know I haven't seen it. A bunch of y'all in other different places. If you have seen that solidarity, feel free to come on up here, family. What's that, brother? Is it Brother Chi? Brother Chi, as it is?
Hey, let me hear it. Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I do want to say that Brother Malcolm had solidarity with him. So did Huey Newton. Where they went to Palestine with Yasser Arafat. There's pictures of this. You had Muhammad Ali that went to Palestine with Yasser Arafat. There's been Black solidarity with the revolutionary groups between them and Palestine. Just Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But Brother Malcolm was definitely one of them.
But did they share solidarity with us? I mean, we know, like I say, Muhammad Ali being a Muslim, Malcolm being a Muslim, but I'm saying, and I even know some of the Panthers as well too, but I'm saying that they share the exact same solidarity that these brothers showed them. Because here in America, I don't see a bunch of whole works and stuff that the Palestinians are put on for Black people.
Right. I can't say I've seen it in America, but I have seen it, because the Zionists, racist Zionists, the way they were treating them, we were treating them. Also, Mandela was another one that went to Palestine, and there was solidarity because of the way the apartheid was going on in Palestine and in South Africa, and the same racism that the Zionist Jews have done to the Palestinians. They're doing that to us in our Black communities. Do you know that every police department, every year, they go to Israel to get trained on how to manage and handle crowds and how to handle Black communities? They've been going for many years to Israel to learn what the IDF does. They've been doing it for years. Okay, so I'm just saying that is the solidarity has been against the way Israel is treating the Palestinians. It's the way America is treating Blacks, and they're getting tips from one another. I'm talking about the American police departments and government and the IDF.
Now let me add this real quick too, because I know from what I heard, mute your mic 1 second, brother. From my understanding, I believe that who was it? Sonetta. Sonetta was pretty close with Khalid Abdul Muhammad, and he was saying Khalid went over there to the Middle East, and he was saying that he didn't see what Malcolm was talking about. When he went over there, he was saying that, hey, they was racist as hell. I mean, this is of course, this is a secondhand account, but Sonetta said that Khalid Abdul Muhammad was saying. And also, when we're talking about Israel, we're talking about Palestine. Let's just be honest here. The history of how they treated, whether you want to say black or melanated people in that region, it hasn't been all that great. I know you have this big back and forth with them over land and stuff like that as well too. But the original inhabitants of those areas, what we call the Middle East today, those were melanated / black people, whatever you want to call them. So, when we started talking about the land theft and this and that, and this group took that and that group took that, well, you got people that's even more ancient and older than them can lay a claim to all that land as well too. Would you disagree with that, brother?
I agree with you. The ancient people of that land were the Canaanites, which were black people.
Okay.
It was the Canaanites, and then you read that in Exodus when the Israeli, his Hebrews, so-called Hebrews, went into Canaan land, and and had a war and killed those people and took their land.
Now,
So
I want to ask a quick question. During the civil rights movement, to your knowledge, did the Palestinians do anything in terms of helping the movement any?
To be honest with you, the Palestinians were in prison. They had an open-air prison for 78 years. So obviously they cannot leave that country or go into that, or leave the country or go into the country. That's why you have that Congresswoman, Tlaib Rashid, cannot even go visit her grandmother. Okay? That's an open-air prison. It's a penitentiary. But they couldn't come and do anything much for us in the civil rights movement. See what I'm saying? So it was more, I would say, it's one-sided. Our leaders went there in solidarity because of the oppression that they were going through, which was the same oppression that we were going through. And they just identified with it. You feel me?
Slavery is not the same oppression as theirs.
No, I'm talking about slavery. We're talking about apartheid and Jim Crow. Yes, sir.
It ain't the same. But Brother Shay, do you have any information? Do you have any information stating that? See, I put several articles in the Purple Pill showing how the black Palestinians are facing racism over there in Palestine. And see, that's the issue right there. Like what Newstoter said, that Sonetta said that Khalid Muhammad went over there and said he didn't see, what Malcolm saw. So, I mean, these people, and then once again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were in the room or not, but there was a rally up in South Carolina during the election cycle. And so you had some black Americans, Marcel Dixon and what's the other, a brother named Black Alpha and others. They went to this rally that was held by the NAACP. Now, they went there to, protest in support of lineage-based reparations for us. So the NAACP kicked out the black Americans who are citizens of this land, and they had this rally on public property. But the Palestinians was there. Now, they did not stand in solidarity with the black Americans and say, well, if they're not going to allow you in, we're going to come out and stand with you. See, that's the problem, that all these other groups, they want us to stand in solidarity with them. But when it comes to their issues, they don't give a damn about us. They're only out for what they what they want for themselves. And that's the problem right there, is that we've been standing in solidarity with a lot of people around the world, but they don't return that same favor to us. And we, the grassroots, we are no longer doing that. I just want to know, are you aware of any of this? And please look in the Purple Pill and see some of those articles that I posted in there. And I would like to hear your response.
All right, brother Shia, you still there? I'm not sure if he's still there or not. Okay.
Yeah, I was saying I'm not aware of it, but I'll definitely check it out.
All right. Thank you, brother Shia. I appreciate it. I mean, that's all you.
Thank you, my brother.
No problem. Detroit, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
All right, man. Majority of us not aware of the connection of the timeline of what we went through. You know what I'm saying? You got the 1865 Homestead Act, right? You got the what is that? The 18-something Indian Treaty Act. You got the massacre that happened from 1865 to 1930 with all the black towns and everything getting destroyed, right? Then you got the 1950 Highway Act where they ran the freeways through all the black communities. Then you got the 1958 Brown versus Board of Education Act. You got the 1960s Civil Rights Era, Act and all that stuff. Then you have once all that was said and done, then you have once we supposedly got free or whatever, as far as like being affected by domestic terrorism by these white folks. You had drugs get planted in our communities. You had a big uproar about how the CIA planted drugs. You can look it up; it was all on the news and everything. I looked at that news footage, and they basically admitted that they planted drugs into our community. Then you have the mass incarceration thing, and then you have all this other stuff going on. So for anybody to even consider what these people went through over in their country, compare that to what we went through. See, the only thing different between them is we didn't fight. I mean, we didn't run. We fought. It's the reason we're here today. That's the big difference between us and them. They want to terrorize us. They want to do what they did 100 years ago, but they know they can't. I'm telling you what, they know that they can't. They had to stand down because we get just violent as they get now. So right now, we need to just we need to step back and let these people do their thing. Turn your back on them, leave them alone. Don't worry about them. Worry about your own. You know what I'm saying? We open the door for Africans to come in. We got exposed how they were getting into politics and how they were scheming and scamming and denying us what we deserve. Like as far as the reparations thing, like here in Detroit. I goes to the hearing. Africans on the damn thing, they got them removed. And Cobra on the thing, they got them removed. NAACP on the thing, on the board, we got them removed. You know what I'm saying? So what they go through, man, it's not our concern. Never was our concern. You know what I'm saying? Whatever our so-called leaders were doing back then, going over there in solidarity with them, they were wrong. They were wrong. Martin Luther King was wrong. Let's be real. He died at 36. He was wrong. He was a kid. I ain't say he was a kid, but he was a young man. He didn't know the hell he was talking about. So, excuse my language, but whatever they're doing over there, man, it's none of our concern. None of it. Any immigrant that comes here, it's none of our concern. We got our own problem. They didn't know how to fight like we fought. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's about it, man.
All right. Thank you, Detroit. Thank you. DJ, I know you had your hand up. You wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to run back to George Floyd's situation. Why ain't nobody ever or like the I guess the prosecutor said, well, why wasn't there a toxicology report on George Floyd saying that, hey, could he have passed away not just from the kneeling on the neck and having his throat asphyxiated, you know what I'm saying, in that type of sense. But I always wanted to know, was the patrol vehicle running the car? Because that's what the police do. They ain't turning their car off. You know what I'm saying? When they got a capture or something, they just pulling up and parking the car or whatever the case be. So considering George Floyd literally his face was by the muffler because he had been inhaling exhaust fumes the whole 9 minutes and being choked out with a needle in the neck. So I don't understand how, years later, you trying to dig up a dead corpse and then say that the man had all these type of heart and ailment issues. Now, when it comes to the medical apartheid situation, they love to say that about black people in America. Oh, we got all these health issues. We got high blood pressure. Big mama, you got to watch the salt, big mama. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch the salt. You know what I mean? They always telling us this stuff and putting us on medication when we don't really need none of that stuff. We're just going to live your life, man. How you going to live it, yo? Because we all going to be up out of here one day anyway. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, why ain't nobody ever bring that up? And what does that even matter when the world saw you kneel on a man's neck for 10 minutes, bro?
Yeah.
MMA fight, they took you out 30 seconds, 10 seconds, you gone. You get choked out in 10 seconds, B, in a professional fight. Sometimes less than that if they're really professional, probably 6 seconds. You know what I mean? 7 seconds, whatever out of time it might be for a professional. The main mixed martial artist to choke you out in 2 seconds style if he get you. So if you kneeling on someone's neck while they handcuffed, remember the body is meant to do one thing. It's built for survival. So, hey, man, don't forget he was calling out for his mama too. So let's talk about that. If somebody want to say something, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say you're right, too. And now this is almost 5 years later. George Floyd died in 2020, and we're getting ready to go into 2025. And they're sitting up here talking about this here now, trying to go ahead and find a way and make a new precedence for this kind of nonsense right here as well, too. So, like you say, this is ridiculous here. And like I say, the fact of the matter that we don't have more black people actually speaking up about this is kind of, it's somewhat disappointing as well, too. Go ahead, DJ.
Well, I don't think it's that, that we're not speaking out. So I wasn't sure. Check your DM real quick. Did you see that post I sent you yesterday about how X is like, the algorithm goes when you're trying to post stuff and, if you get
I did see that. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. Okay. No, but I'm saying, but by speaking out, I'm talking about, this should be a national outcry here. I'm social media, yeah, but every black media company in this country should be talking about this. They should be, it should be all over. The churches, everything, everybody should be talking about this situation right here because we saw the impact. We saw the global impact of George Floyd dying the way he died. That went, when you talk about viral, that was all over. You had protests and you had people getting out there in the streets all over the world, not just here in America. It's spearheaded over here, but it just went all around the world. And the fact that it's not loud enough, though, it's not, it's really, really not loud enough. It should be right now when this thing came out, this should be amongst the 2 or 3 top stories in Black America today. The fact that we talking about sitting up here doing this, we sitting up here and we talking about trying to go ahead and find a way to weasel this man up out of damn prison right here. And like I think like you said, and a number of other people said in this space as well too, he's got a history of doing this right here to people. Doing this, and when they're trying to find a way to get him up out of here, no, man. It's not big enough.
Right. So again, think about what you just said, brother. You know what I mean? How did it get loud from the get-go? Because we all saw it. So now that, this particular situation has arisen again, so, the white media, or I ain't even gonna say the white media, it's the media in general. You know what I'm saying? It's the media in general, because you got tether media. You know what I'm saying? They control what they control and ostracize us as well. So this is the whole narrative while we be trying to tell y'all, hey, support black media, black American media specifically, Newstoter, support Third Eye Radio, support Black State, you know what I'm saying? Support this, support the reparationist perspective, support Aunt Lash. You want to talk about a legal battle? You want to talk about a legal battle? Go support Aunt Lash, yo. She fighting the state of New Jersey, yo. Like, I don't think y'all understand this, yo. You know what I mean? So they fight ain't that our fight, and at the end of the day, even if it was, y'all ain't never show no, participation, any type of association, wanting to patronize. When I was growing up, like you say, hey, it is New Jersey. Well, all the Arabs, you know what I'm saying? And I don't call them Muslims because that's just a religion. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand I never understood that. Or I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Where's Muslim land at? You know what I'm saying? Like let's talk about that. Where's Christian land at, or Baptist land? I just never understood that. But you know, to each his own. And then the other thing is too, people use that trope against you. This is why I don't rock with a lot of our own folks up here, because some of them, hey, you a Muslim now, no more doing games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the code switch too up here. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the other religions. You know, I don't have folks. You know, we just flip out and just go full Christian. No, I ain't don't. You know, I'm full for Jesus. You know what I mean? It's good to be for Jesus, but don't wear me out with your personal, you know, endeavors or whatever the case be. Because me and you are friends. You feel what I'm saying? And I respect you out whatever which way you want to roll. You feel what I'm saying? That ain't gonna affect our friendship, but hey, things change when people get adapted and indoctrinated to stuff. So hey, I just sit back and watch folks shoot themselves in the foot, and it's all gravy, man. Go and live your life. But at the end of the day, I don't understand how folks, when you say, hey, we ain't up in arms, well, just said the same thing. It really is because of social media. That's how we got up in arms in the first place. But if you got the algorithms blocking it, and then you got all the white folks really, and then this is why I say this is a white thing, up here online every day, oh, stop the woke media, stop the wokeness. Well, hold up, woke mean just watch out for white people. That's what it meant to us. So how we let them bastardize the word? You know what I'm saying? Let's start there. So you ain't gonna see this type of information pop up on the white media. It only come up on Newstoter now. So at the end of the day, retweet the article, y'all. It's in the Jumbotron about this George Floyd situation. While you trying to dig up dead bones at this point, it's all said and done. Derek Chauvin in jail, serving whatever time the justice system has given him. Why y'all trying to free this man? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, hey, black lawyers that you went to law school for, you need to flip the script and start getting on your Johnny Cochran wave, and you know what I'm saying, your Thurgood Marshall wave, because if not, we ain't gonna survive out here. This is why what I always say, hey, y'all got any folks in the cell block right now that's doing time? Do they know any jailhouse lawyers in there? Let's put some money on their books. Say, I got 5 on it. That's enough to get some toothpaste in a juju beat. You feel what I'm saying? For the month. I got that every month. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine everyone in here just match me on the same thing. Our jailhouse lawyers ain't got nowhere to go. They serving life, B. They could be out here whipping this information. You know, just being honest with you. And getting it back into the prison, because eventually the vast majority of us that are incarcerated is going to come home one day. So be prepared, because a lot of our folks that sit in the cell blocks, they ain't trying to learn nothing. You know what I'm saying? I got a family done did wild time. Came home still thinking this is 98. Nah, B. You know what I'm saying? Things done changed, man. You know what I'm saying? And wound up going right back in there. Got to finish that time up because you messed up. You know what I'm saying? Try to warn you, but hey, you know, can't tell a person what to do. And just to go back to the Palestine thing, we ain't never been on the call with these people. They've been here plotting, trying to kill us the whole time. The Sheikh mastermind lived in Maplewood, New Jersey. I want y'all to look that up. The blind Sheikh, blind, like you're blind, Sheikh lived in Maplewood, New Jersey. The vast majority of these folks, and not even to say he ain't even really got a problem with black people, because they don't. You feel what I'm saying? They're not trying to harm us because they actually do understand, like Brother C said, our injustices. But they not on accord with it because they don't have to put up with it. They're immigrants. So why would they sit up here and raise a stick at the white man for us? You feel what I'm saying? Come on, and look, that's the same instance now with your white friends now, or your friends that are here in America, no matter the race. Well, you know, when you talk reparations to them or whatever the case, you know, the black cause that's going on, George Floyd, hey, they trying to test his heart and all this other crap. Well, they don't really care about that, and rightfully so. It's not their fight, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, we got to separate, delineate, and just, hey, hold your own us from here, man. I'll yield it.
All right. Appreciate that, DJ. Let me read this from what Nightfall got. He said on YouTube, he says, a quick question at Newstoter. The old saying is, follow the money. Exhuming a body isn't free. Last I heard, Derek was a voice and broke. So who's footing the bill for all of this? Shout out to Avenge the Ancestors as well, too, for the super sticker as well, too. I'd imagine the one footing the bill for this has got to be somebody, I would think. Damn, who is exhuming? Would this be connected to would this be government?
The state.
Yeah.
Look,
man, look, check this out. So white Americans, y'all so-called patriots, right? When y'all be running around saying, hey, we need to end qualified immunity, that we should end qualified immunity, well, this would be the good reason to do it, because why should your tax dollars foot the bill for something that's already been said and done? And how you going to say someone has heart issues and that was the reason why they died? Well, hell, he was just fine 5 minutes ago before you showed up, bro. He was just fine. And then back to the actual Palestinian or whoever, Arab, you know what I'm saying, Middle Eastern, AKA North Africa, geographically. And that's the other thing where a lot of y'all is messing up. Don't call these people Muslims. Call them where they really come from. Y'all come from North Africa, somewhere over there, and even further up in the Caucasus Mountains, the Turkish jokers, y'all came down. Y'all the Roman naggers that came down into Africa. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all descend from General Africanus. That's where y'all come from. So Elon Musk, you ain't no real African. You know what I'm saying? Your peoples ain't from there, B. And look, y'all South Africans, y'all be giving these white boars, man, too much leeway. You know what I'm saying? How they gonna tell you you can't swim in the pool because a white man built it? That's on public property in some hotel somewhere. And then they're gonna try to drown a little black boy. You know what I'm saying? The little African boy. You know what I'm saying? Go get the strap. You know what I'm saying? y'all better raise up and rise up, man. And look, if they were to free Derek Chauvin, hey, yeah, let's get back to that, right? What are we gonna do?
Whatever we gonna do, don't say it online. Don't say it online.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever you do not say online.
No. That's why it's silence. I'm not telling you to snitch yourself. No, that's for you to think. You know what I'm saying? Your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. I plead the fifth. The fifth.
Hey, Nightfall had another question. He says, but the state doesn't pay for defense for the criminal. This has to be paid for by the defense, which also includes any scientific experts that speak on their behalf.
Yeah, but the state can still pick it up for the stuff. In fact, you could just go to legal aid. I've been behind the wall. I know this stuff. And there you go. The state can pick it up, man. Trust me, the bill. You know what I mean?
And somebody's picking it.
Especially since he broke. We already know that he broke. He behind the wall. He got no money. You know what I'm saying? What assets did Derek Chauvin leave behind before he went into jail? House, car, pension, what he got? You know what I'm saying? That ain't already been taken from him at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, each state's supposed to have like a legal aid type of, I guess you could say maybe not necessarily a department, but maybe some type of private legal aid firm that handles, cases, for people that might be, but people that are poor.
All states got legal aid. All states.
Yeah,
yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's mandated mainly by the state, but it's kind of funded by the feds too at the same time. Checks and balance.
And here's the thing about it though, they don't give them a lot of funding, because I'm gonna tell you something. The one here in Alabama, they don't get a lot of funding. They'll tell you, like if you go in there, they'll tell you. You don't get a whole lot of funding.
You could call it legal aid in any state. Just real talk, ask for legal advice. Hey, look, I'm not getting any help in Alabama. This is the case. Can you help me with it? Because they're not. A lot of them are lawyers and paralegals themselves, but it's still their obligated right to help you. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you ain't in the same state. Let me look up someone that can help you, because I can't help you from New York City or California. I gotta send someone that's in your area, but then it's corrupt over here in New Jersey, or it's corrupt down here in Texas. I can't work with these people. They all in cahoots. Kind of like our sister Constance Washington, who dealing with the legal issue of housing right now, where she don't put up her life savings to get a house built in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, only to have this white prejudiced ass company steal her land and the house and take all the money and everything. And guess who's in on it? The sheriff, judge, the person that works behind the desk at Elizabeth City Housing, they all in on it. She been to court, all this other stuff, no aid. So it's like, hey, why we ain't up in arms about that too? See that? So guess what? She just recently got suspended off TikTok for voicing her opinion. Correct, right? Rightfully so. And she had about, I think, about 50,000 or so more subscribers. extra. TikTok. Now I keep telling y'all, yeah, I got TikTok. I ain't gonna throw rocks at a glass house. But hey, come on, Trump, J20, come on, so you can get TikTok up out of here too and deport that software up out of here, because we don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of other things that's owned by the CCP. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't need to be dealing with that because we delineating from them. Shout out to the tariff gang. We getting this money. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. No, wow.
Hey, BJ, see that? I'm with you on that TikTok, because see, here's the issue. China has banned Google, YouTube, Facebook, and something else. So that's like, I'm like, wait a minute. Who do the Chinese think they are?
And look, my brother had to cut you off. And,
yeah, go ahead.
And they got Apple rubbing Xi Jinping nuts. No slow-mo, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why y'all should have an iPhone. Y'all got an iPhone, get rid of that thing. Maybe it's made in China.
Hey,
see,
go ahead, Original.
That's my...
I want to read. Go ahead, because I want to read 3 questions that 3 comments that Nightfall got. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's my issue with this TikTok issue, because I'm like, how can they ban social media apps from America, but they're supposed to have the right to bring their garbage over here in our land?
Okay, real quick, Nightfall had a couple comments. The first one, he says, so legal aid has enough money to foot the bill to exhume a 5-year-old buried body. He came back and said legal aid is presenting lawyers for those who can't afford it, but that money is very small. He said, according to Google, the average cost to exhume a body is $3,000 to $5,000. And remember, Derek was prosecuted under federal law. I don't know if anybody wanted to.
Okay, somebody asked that question earlier. Was he prosecuted under federal law?
I think he was. I thought he was prosecuted under both. I think federal and state.
I don't know.
I want to say, y'all, that it was done under the state, and then it went to the federal. So here's the thing. This whole thing that they're trying to dig up right now with this whole looking through his heart, digging up his body to go test his heart, to me is very much a mute point, because of the fact that the whole entire world saw you on video leaning down on this brother's neck, okay? Which in this case, to most of us, we saw murder being committed right in front of us, okay? So this whole move by the white supremacists, because that's who's behind all of this, to try to get this man out because of some testing and thinking that it's something to do with his other health issues or whatever. The fact is, you can have other health issues, but if somebody is leaning on your neck, that brings into effect or causing those health issues to go crazy. Okay, let me just put it that way. Okay, in other words, if you on my damn neck, all these health issues that I have, you just cause them to go and complicate matters faster for me. Okay, complications due to you doing what you did to me by leaning on my neck. So therefore, all this stuff that these white supremacists are trying to do is a mute point. You caused the man's death. That's the simple point of this. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I can just see where this country is about to go down in flames if they let this man out. So I'm just gonna tell you, that's how it's gonna be. That's what's gonna happen. Because everybody across the globe saw this happen before their eyes. And these white supremacists have been mad ever since, throwing everything out there. He was a what they said about him, said that he was a criminal. He was a lifetime criminal. He was attacking women. He was robbing women. He held a gun to a woman's stomach. This is some of the stuff that these white supremacists have been throwing out here for a long time now. because they don't like the fact when justice is put against them for what they do to black people or black Americans. They hate that. They want to be able to do things to us without being held accountable for. So I'm just telling you, I got a sense that if they let the guy go, you are going to see the end of America as we know it. And there we go. I'm going to leave it there.
Real talk. Let me see. Nightfall says again. He said that he's in the feds right now. He said again, what strapped legal aid office is going to dump $3,000 to $5,000 of their funding into digging up a body for a case that's already been adjudicated? Then he says it shouldn't really matter because what excuse can they use to justify him kneeling on George's neck? Was it for using counterfeit money or because he was on fentanyl and had heart issues? Polo Style says they're rewriting history. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I got the article right here. So, Chauvin's multiple civil rights violations. So, when the tether said the white man gave you everything, we don't think so, tether gang. This is why we deporting y'all. We fought for everything. So, Chauvin's multiple civil rights violations. In the federal civil rights case, Chauvin pled guilty. Keyword, pled guilty to 2 violations. You catch it, a violation of anything federally, you're going doing 10 years minimum, straight up. Catch a fed charge, an indictment. Young Thug, his whole case, that's amazing. You got out. You had a 180-page indictment. How you catch that? But that was over a multitude of years. Them watching them, YSL or whatever. So right here in the federal civil rights case, Chauvin pled guilty to 2 violations of federal civil rights law for Floyd's death in 2020 and causing the bodily injury of John Pope, a then 14-year-old boy in 2017. So that was the other person he bodily, unalive, basically, you know what I'm saying? Or caused bodily injury, you know what I'm saying? Which I never even dove into that case, you know what I mean? So by pleading guilty, Chauvin admitted, keyword admitted, white folks say ain't nothing to do to dig up or anything, admitted to willfully depriving Floyd of his civil rights when he knelt on Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes. Specifically, he violated Floyd's, here we go, this is why we fought for everything, 14th Amendment right to not be deprived of liberty without due process of the law. Let's go. This is why they're trying to mess with the 14th Amendment. So, you get your 14A over 2A up, you know what I mean? So, the case was the first instance of which Chauvin admitted that kneeling on Floyd's neck, even when he went unresponsive and failing to give him proper medical aid, resulted in his death. Chauvin did not testify in the state criminal trial, and he maintained his innocence. So he didn't even have to testify in the state trial, whichever that was, because it's mainly federal, I guess, at this point, because of the civil rights violation of the 14th Amendment. Let's see, hold up a minute. What's this to do? So the brutality that Chauvin admitted to subjecting Pope and Floyd to is prohibited by the 4th Amendment, according to the Constitution. Anyone in the United States has the right to be free from excessive force by law. Henceforth, while I tell y'all, defend yourself at all times. I don't care. Keep your eye on your 12, 3, 6, and 9. It's military for left, right, front, back. You know what I mean? And learn how to fight and render aid to someone that it is in need. And get your weight up because you might have to carry somebody or be carried. You never know. So right here, prosecutors push for the maximum sentence of 25 years, citing Chauvin's callous attitude and pattern of excessive force. Floyd's brother asked the court for a life sentence. So he pretty much got 22.5 years federal time. You're not coming home unless you do 85% of that time. So that's bare minimum 19 years you got to do. See you then, and more or less because of the nature of the situation, the federal parole board, they want to deny you. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. You know what I mean? So, he didn't get the life. You know what I'm saying? As far as and life means 2 things too. You can serve 25 to life. You know what I'm saying? Meaning after 25 years straight, you can still be paroled. You know what I'm saying? Be on parole for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just get life, you just ain't coming home ever. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying it's all about capital punishment. But hey, man, you harm me, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. Straight up. I'm sorry, Jesus. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't turn the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna sit there and let you bruise me up. You know what I'm saying? When it say right here in the 4th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, I got the right to be protected. Why would I let you hit me? You know what I'm saying? At this point in the game, you know what I mean? We this ain't pre-1865. You know what I mean? You get smacked, you know what I mean?
All righty, appreciate that. We're gonna get ready to go ahead and conclude tonight's broadcast, Twitter Space podcast. We're gonna be back next week, guys. Tentatively, I'm not sure, but it might not be the regular hours. We may do a couple spaces and may do at least one space next week earlier in the day, guys. So I will send out the notifications just to let everybody know with Christmas approaching. So I know I'm not gonna be doing we're not gonna be doing too many spaces coming up here within the next week, but I am going to try to at least get one in next week, possibly maybe two. So I'm going to see exactly what's up, guys. And if I do, more than likely, it probably would be in the afternoon as well, too, guys. So I want everybody to have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. Thank you once again for coming through and supporting the Newstoter platform. Make sure you guys visit newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news in Black America. Shout out to the mods over there. Shout out to our YouTube family over there as well, too, guys. Make sure y'all share a nice broadcast over there on YouTube as well. Share everything, all the content from Newstoter as well, too, guys. We will see you. Be safe, everybody. And like I say, and if we don't do a space next week, everybody have a great Christmas, safe Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, still have a happy holiday as well, too, guys. So peace, and we will be back. We'll see you guys either next week or the following week after that. So peace, everybody. Be safe.
Come up to newstoter.com, get that information. Please.
Also support on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter, and we're out.